I never done this before. Yeah, drown out my problems, let me When I been up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned.
Okay, Coach, historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Green Bay Packers. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now, 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. That's complete to the former Aggie, Jay Sternberger. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3-and-out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1. Pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
We call it sack block.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. Here's Jackson on third and long. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's fourth.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes...
And got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Hey, nothing to see here, just your standard fourth down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Phillip Lindsay, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And the last... drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 10.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
In the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. This will be caught by Brown. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Offense.
Orlando Brown guilty of the infraction there.
Still first down.
Ready up. Mike 42, check, Mike 42. It's our field. It's our field.
From the gun, Jackson. Looking left side, and it's complete. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. On 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 33.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. Now a carry for Lindsey. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 17, Jackson dancing to his left. And he whips that one incomplete there. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker.
So and he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Za'Darius Smith coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Still second down.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Jackson on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 49. Oh, he slipped right by him. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw again. Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. To throw is Jackson. Throwing on 3rd and long. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to kick points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. Tucker, a career 70% success rate from 50-plus. Just incredible. And the All-Pro is money from distance again there.
They ought to give him 4 points for field goals from some of the distances that this guy makes them from.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On second down, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 4th touchdown on the year as the Ravens push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for them here as we sit in the second quarter. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Rodgers now on first down. And that's complete to Adams. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. On play action, Rodgers. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Jackson from the shotgun. His throw caught at about the 5. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. To throw again is Jackson. Flush to his right. Now and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson in the final seconds of the first half as the Ravens push further out in front.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 2nd down and 4, Jackson eluding the pressure right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. A little tough on the secondary there, in zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have the first down here, but hold on. As there's a flag on the field, and I think someone got held. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. On 4th down, Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Darquez Denard there defensively. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, their way, that's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. 2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Mike Fofo. Come on. You better bring it.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Being chased out left. He's going deep. He's got a man. Complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Check 50. Check 50. Go.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson escaping the pressure right. That's going to be caught. Call that a very strong gain of 24. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to take off with it. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first. Now on first down. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 23.
Now that's an offensive line you and I can play behind. How about the amount of time they gave their guy to scan the field and find someone open? Had all night, and on a game like this, probably should just put a spotlight on them instead of the quarterback.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll...
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. They found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening, but they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point up and good by Suckup. And the lead now down to 20. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Yep. They're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion in the field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 23 yards the pickup there. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And it's 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Throwing is Jackson. And that is incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence. If they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess, and it'll bring up 3rd down. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 48, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork. Things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Hey, Mike's 42, Mike's 42.
Jackson looking to throw on third. Flush to his right. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A gain of 22. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 33. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Ravens, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.